Well, welcome to our October Southern Breeze Tree and Stone Society meeting. Thank you for your patience with our little technical glitch. Our goal is to bring you programs that are of interest to you concerning Penjing, bonsai, and stone appreciation. Our programs, we're now recording our programs and placing them on YouTube. If you would like to see last month's program, you can go to YouTube and search for Tom Elias channel, and you'll find last month's programs there, along with several others. Today, we're going to be looking at Chinese Lingnan-style Penjing, and we're fortunate to have Mr. Zhao Sheng with us. We went to his home and recorded several videos, and he was kind enough to share his knowledge with us. At this point, I'd like to ask you to mute your microphone, use your chat box to send us any questions, and then at the end of the program, we'll open it up and you can ask questions to Mr. Che and have a discussion about the Lingnan-style Penjing. Mr. Zhao Sheng lives in San Gabriel, California. He is truly a Penjing master artist specializing in the Lingnan style. Mr. Che was born and raised in Guangzhou, China, southern China. He learned the Lingnan style in Guangzhou, studying with a master there. And then in 2006, he and his family moved to Southern California, where he's been working at the Huntington Library, art collections, and botanical gardens. He is in charge of the Penjing collection at the Lufang Yuan Classical Chinese Garden of Flowing Fragrances at the Huntington. He's been there since 2006. Several years ago, Mr. Che won a Bonsai Club International Medal of Excellence for his Chinese Penjing specimen. Now, just a couple words about the Lingnan school or style. In China, there are several schools of Penjing, different styles. Most of them are part of the Northern school, and only one is the Southern school. The Northern schools are located in different cities: Yangzhou, Suzhou, Shanghai, Chengdu, Nantong, Hangzhou. And if we look at a map, if we look in the lower Yangtze River Valley, and to the right, we can see that 5 of the schools are located within a couple hours drive of Shanghai, in Nantong, in Suzhou, Yangzhou, Shanghai, Hangzhou. And then to the west, I'm looking at the map on the left, in Chengdu, Sichuan province. These are all the Northern schools. At the red star at the lower end is in the south in Changzhou, and that's where the Lingnan style is based. Now, most of you probably know that Lingnan is a geographical area representing the lands south of the Nanling Mountains in Hunan province. It incorporates present-day Guangdong, Guangxi, and Hainan provinces, along with Hong Kong and Macau. Plus, in the older days, it also extended into central and northern Vietnam. Now, the Nanling Mountains serve as the geographical boundary between central and southern China. The mountains define the northern boundary of the Cantonese civilization and linguistic areas from central China. Now, the Lingnan school is basically a clip and grow technique centered in Guangzhou. and it's known for its natural looking forms. The trees are carefully shaped by pruning over many years, and they do not use wires around the branches to bend them and shape them. It's all clip and grow. So now we'll move to Mr. Che's Penjing nursery at his home in San Gabriel. He has an extensive collection of trees, and we're going to take a little video view of it. To show you the extent of his collection. It's really truly a wonderful collection of trees. And you'll probably see the best Chinese elms anywhere in the country here in his nursery. You may notice that we're now using videos as part of our presentations. This is an experiment on our part as we try to improve the programs for you. Now we're going to move to talking with Mr. Che and learning about specific techniques. Welcome, Southern Breeze Society members. We're happy to bring you our latest program with Mr. Che, who's been at the Huntington Library and Botanical Garden for many years. He's in charge of the Penjing at the Garden of Flowing Fragrances, and today he's going to give us a program and talk about making Penjing specimens out of the Chinese elm. So he's going to be assisted by Dean Lian, who's going to be translating, and the two of them will provide our program for us today. Okay, our first step is in pruning techniques.
我哋咧一般都係咧按照啲樹咧一級一級咁剪出嚟，唯一咧你已經大幹細幹一路咁出。
Yeah, he said that when they starting the tree, he will pruning is one step by step. So you can see that the branches is already become better. So the first thing that he's doing is just let it grow. Which branch he want that to become a thicker, so he just let it grow to make it stronger. After that, and then he start to pruning back.
Yeah. Okay. 一路咁剪啦，我哋即係。
So he start to
yeah.
pruning. The way that he pruning is like that.
即係一路咁樣按照嗰個比例咁樣一路咁樣向裏邊剪，即係
He's following that the branches, the secondary and the tertiary that to pruning back.
即係咁樣，你剪咗之後咧，輕輕清一清啲葉咧，咁你成棵樹。
And after you prune it, and you have to thin it out the leaf.
Yeah, little bit, yeah. 即係佢咁掂得嗱，你睇落去咧，成棵樹已經出嚟啦，我哋叫。即係為因呢棵樹種咗好耐下㗎啦，已經一路嗱，佢一級一級咁去。
So
個比例。
Because this tree is already been trending for a while, so you can see that all the branches, the taper of the branches is already becoming better and better.
或者一路咁跟住佢咯。
Yeah, it's keep following that the branches to pruning back.
即係唯一我哋一路係咁剪開咧，我哋知道點樣，即係一級一級咁去啦。
Okay, now we'll take a look at the stages of development of Chinese elm using different age trees.
我哋中國嗰啲嶺南盆景咧，得未？呢啲我哋中國嶺南盆景咧都係一級，即係第一節、第二節、第三節，即係都係按照個比例一路咁樣，即係剪到上去收頂。
Okay, he's talking about the Lingnan-style. Is always you can see that when they're growing up here, and then they first cut, and then go up for a while, and then the second cut, and the third cut is step by step doing that.
嗱，好似呢啲枝就呢啲枝一樣，你定咗之後咧，又係一級一級咁樣，即係都係按照嗰個咁樣做。
And even the branches is doing the same thing. See, one step, one cut, and then going back there, and then the second cut is step by step. Even the branches doing the same thing.
同啲細枝一樣。
Yeah, and the small branches is doing the same thing.
呢個又係嗱，你睇我哋啲樹咧，多數都係咧，我哋嶺南風格都係咧，第一節、第二節一路咁去。呢棵咧同嗰棵已經開始差唔多，即係又係咁樣嘅比例啦，一路一級一級到個粗之後咧，又剪到去一級一級咁去。
Yeah, this tree and the one that the first tree is doing the same thing. The Lingnan-style is always doing is one step and then the other step and then go to the third step is step by step. Even the branches doing the same thing. So all this tree is almost become the complete tree.
基本上都係50%、60%就開始剪，60%就剪，所以個比例都係一路向上尖。
Usually, the taper is about 60% heavy, like the first trunk, and then it start to cut it.
OK，
你家下講咧就全部當佢同一個一棵樹咁嘅講法。你講到邊度，咁佢做到。其實呢度已經係差唔多啦。
但係依棵咧已經嗱，我嗰啲咧已經差唔多，我哋要上盤。上盤之後咧，再調嗰個角度。好多啲枝位唔啱咧，我哋仲要調整。調整之後咧，睇嗰個位置點樣。你黑盤咧就大約係咁上緊，一上咗盤咧有少少又唔同。就呢啲開始慢慢滿啲，即係咁樣。
All right, the one that is the pear bonsai, so that's why it's in the plastic container. But after doing like this, and then he will repot it into the clay pot because you have to looking for the base and the root system. So They have to training in the clay pot.
呢波已經基本上成，即係都 OK 嘅，即係基本上可以啦。但係只有係慢慢滿啲，即係你樹咧一定要夠年份，即係要慢慢等佢喺個盤度漚到佢個年份越耐咧，嗰棵樹佢睇落去咧就越蒼老，就基本上係差唔多，即係咁樣啦。
And this one is become that complete bonsai already, you know. So usually the branches looks better is because the age. You have to put into the pot for a long time, and then they growing is more stronger, especially the root system and the trunk, everything. The branches is pruning back as looks better than because the age.
How long does it take from the first stage to come to this fourth stage? How many years?
咁樣每棵樹長法唔同，有啲樹長得好快，有啲樹長得好耐，
大概
同埋一般呢啲樹起碼種都要10幾年㗎啦，17、8年啊！呢啲樹基本上。
唔係佢由第一個到呢個完成嘅，大概係幾多年？大約
嗱，我同你講，即係好似我哋中國人講話古樹，古樹即係古稀嘅古啦，即係你個人行出嚟，你嗰棵樹即係等於一樣，你個人嘅歲數越耐，即係棵樹即係越係蒼老，即係咁嘅意思。你能夠 keep 到咁樣。
Well,
即係個年份越嚟
越長啫。It's very difficult to tell you how long that from the stage 1 to the stage 4 because it depends on how strong the tree. Most of the tree is different. So that's why usually is about more than 10 years in the pot. So we can going like this one.
Thank you.
So if we look at the stages of development, you can begin growing a tree in a pot for 5 to 10 years in a plastic pot deeper, and then transfer it over to a Penjing pot and let it grow additional years. And then after 20 years, you have this beautiful specimen on the right. And the thing to notice is how the thickest part of the trunk is at the base and it tapers upwards. The thickest part of the side branches are closest to the trunk and slowly become smaller as you move outward from the trunk. And so it's the pruning techniques that create this over time. So to do this, to make a Chinese elm Penjing like this, all you need is a nice starter tree, learn the pruning techniques, and then have lots of patience. You can't do this overnight. It takes time to develop a good Lingnan-style Penjing. So I want to thank our Mr. Che, Dean Lian for translating, Hiromi for the video photography, and the technician for helping to put this program together. Now, we're going to open this session in just a second or two, so you can unmute your microphones now. Now, our Southern Breeze meets on the second Sunday of each month. Next month in November, we will have a program, Small Stones Worlds Apart. We examine the beauty of small stone displays from 28 countries. And these are all stones that are 15 centimeters or less. So if you want to receive notices about these, please contact me, send me an email, and we'll be glad to put you on our mailing list and become a member. So at this point, I'm going to stop sharing, and we're going to open it up for questions in English, or Chinese, Vietnamese. It's your choice of how you want to ask your questions. So any questions or discussion?
How can you tell?
Mr. Che, how long have you been doing Lingnan-style Penjing?
我係1976年開始學。
45年咯，即係45年。
Mr. Chair, is there?
Hey, how are you?
Is there? You have the northern school and southern school, Lingnan. Is there any different style or technique from between the two groups?
想問車生咧，嗰個嶺南咧，北邊同埋南邊咧，嶺南嗰個動法係有冇唔同？
即係我哋南方嶺南盆景咧，有幾即係嗰個做法係有啲唔同咯。我哋速知所以你而家你上網咧，你可以查得到嘅嶺南盆景嘅風格同北方盆景有乜嘢你可以睇得到噶啦。佢解釋俾你聽。其實嶺南盆景咧就係速知，速知佢速得嚟呢個方法唔同啦，同北方嗰啲，加上你南方嗰啲樹係長得快啲，所以剪出嚟嘅風格就係唔同啦。
Who's going to translate?
Mr. K said that the southern part and the northern part, the way that they keep is a little bit different because of the climate and the location of the plant. For example, in the southern part, the weather will make the tree grow a lot faster than the northern part of China. So basically, the clipping and pruning in the southern part is a little bit different than the northern parts.
So
Thank you, Karen.
You're welcome.
Is this okay? I have another question, Mr. Yes. And in the case you're from the southern part and you're using a elm tree because of the weather. How about you ever tried the southern part technique on the ficus?
車生，我 David 想問下你，你用個嶺南style用嘅樹咧，就喺個圓樹度，咁會唔會個同北邊嘅你有冇話諗住用喺榕樹度咧 ？Mr. Chair, David want to know, have you ever tried the Lingnan technique only on elm tree? Have you ever tried on the ficus? Is that the difference?
It's okay.
我哋嶺南盆景咧，佢就分嘅，你灌木又好，咩樹都好咧，我哋嘅風格都係嗰個按照嶺南嗰個風格。你又好似灌木咁速枝節幹咧，灌木啊基本上都可以嘅啦。
No, you can.
灌木嘅意思係乜嘢啊？阿車生？
你除咗係松樹同柏樹咧？
哦。The Lingnan-style, you can basically use it even on the elm tree or ficus. The only one that you don't use probably is the pine tree.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions?
你有乜嘢講
Comments?
阿車生想問下你點樣去初初揾個樹，點知道係可以適合係用嶺南嘅方法去種咧？你望住嘅時候，
你基本上如果你學曉呢個風格咧，你咩灌木都得㗎。你只要你有呢個樹材咧，你可以做出嚟㗎嘛。
Okay. I was asking him, how can you tell which tree is perfect for the Lingnan style? But he said basically most of the tree you can try except the pine tree.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay. Oh, that's good.
Oh, Karen, Tom asked a question at the very beginning. Nobody translated, and Mr. Che didn't respond. Could Tom repeat the question, and we can ask Karen to help your question, Tom?
I forgot the question.
It's okay.
How long was the beginning part? Okay. Okay.
So I have a question. How long do these live?
How long does the trees live?
Yes.
Okay.
阿車生啊，佢問你啊，嗰棵樹可以喺個盤度可以活幾耐啊？
換幾耐嗱？你講真嘅，我哋咁講，你有人管理就百年樹、千年樹都得，你冇人管理咧，2個星期上都上帝噶啦。
Well, Mr. Chair is saying that if have somebody taking care of the tree, they can grow forever. You can see that some of the bonsai tree in the park is being couple of 100 years. So if you don't have anybody to taking care of the bonsai, it's only a couple of ways. It's up to heaven.
Yes, yes.
They live just as long as the other styles or some of the Japanese trees. So they're long-lived as long as they're healthy and you take care of them.
Yeah, that's why we keep always looking for the longer life material to growing to become a bonsai, because you don't want to spending 10 or 20 years to pruning the tree, and after that is the time to die for the tree. So that's why the material is very important thing to looking for it, like the pine tree, and is they can live for a long time, you know, and the juniper, you can see that a couple of even 1,000 years of the juniper in the mountain.
Also in the Lingnan style, they use many of the native species to southern China. The warm temperate or even subtropical trees are used in Lingnan style, as opposed to more pines and other conifers used in the north.
Mr. Chair, I have another question. Your opinion about this? The Lingnan style is only cut and trim. So will that help to reduce the size, the leaf size of the tree, the leaf? So like another word, do you have to use some way to reduce the leaf size of the elm, the Chinese elm?
阿車生啊，佢問你啊個問題就係你淨係用剪翻同埋縮枝嘅方法咧，係咪可以使到嗰啲葉啊個 size 會變細呢？
嗱，我同你講咧，如果你本身佢嘅樹葉係大嘅咧，只有係幾個辦法控制佢，因為水啊樣樣，但係佢本身係大嘅都冇辦法㗎，你葉本身係葉大，你都冇辦法改變佢。所以點解咧？呢個盆景咧，有啲人咧，佢能夠1000年、2000年，主要就係咧，你有一個穩定嘅冇一個植物園啊。嗰啲地方人哋啲樹點解保持得咁耐咧？第一佢冇戰亂，第二個國家穩定，咁樣咧佢啲樹先至能夠1000年、2000年咁留落嚟。但係如果你講到咧管理嗰啲方面有一個問題，你一棵好嘅樹，如果你係冇好嘅管理嗰啲人員咧修剪咧，你就變到好似嗰啲街市賣嗰啲樹一樣㗎啦。
阿車生佢個問題係問你嗰啲葉啊，你啲葉會唔會縮翻細咧？
基本上都冇咩，佢本身係大， 但係你可以控制咧，只要係細少少都唔會細得好緊要㗎啦。
Yes, he said that the leaf, when you pick up the material, you have to see that some of the material, the leaf is a very big one. So however you're doing it, the leaf will reduce a little bit smaller, but still is a very big leaf. But some variety, they can become a very small one, like elm tree, that they can become a small one. Even the olive tree, sometimes that they can become the small leaf too, if you keep pruning it back. And usually we do using that the defoliate all the leaves off, take all the leaves off 1 or twice a year, and then the leaf will reduce smaller.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Are you saying that you can defoliate a Chinese elm and it will produce a new crop of smaller leaves?
Yes.
你其實每樣樹咧，佢都有分嘅。你本身係大葉、細葉，佢本身已經有㗎啦。你大葉冇可能改變你細葉㗎，只有細啲唔得。
係啊，頭先我就係講，如果佢個樹種係大葉嘅話，你點樣整佢最多係細些少，但係都係好大嘅。
係啦，即係原理一樣啦。
When is the best time to defoliate the Chinese elm? Spring, summer, fall?
OK， 車生佢問你係我哋幾時咧係摘呢個葉比較好啊？個榆樹啊？
榆樹咧，我哋一般咧就係正常咧，我哋其實咧你出到咁上下，你可以摘少少，摘咗葉之後再長都得。但係咧，如果你係春天啱啱出嗰陣時咧，你摘就冇咁好咯。即係啱啱發芽嗰陣時，即係你過完。即係
夏天啦嚇。
係啦係啦。
OK， he said that usually the elm tree is when the spring that they pop out the new shoot is not the best time to prune it back, but until the summertime, summer is the best time to prune it back.
Prune
and
it or
take off,
defoliate?
defoliate the leaves during the summertime.
Thank you.
Because during the winter time, Chinese elm, they will drop down all the leaves by themselves, you know.
Well, in the winter time here in Southern California, Chinese elms lose their leaves in the fall.
Yes, yes. Even in China, doing the same thing. You know, the weather when they got cold, and the leaf will fall down.
So you're saying is you can defoliate get rid of all the leaves at the end of summer, and then it will come back, and then in winter time it will lose all the again. Leaves. So it's twice a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
How often do we trim the elm? Like in the winter, no leaf. Can we also continue to trim the tree?
車生佢問你啊，即係通常嚟講係幾時可以剪嗰啲枝？你啊，好似冬天嘅時候落晒葉嘅時候咧，我可唔可以剪嗰啲枝？
嗱，我同你講，你棵樹係即係成熟到乜嘢，還是新樹舊樹？如果你成熟嘅樹咧，你好似個人真係要理髮，到咁上長你要清下佢，剪下佢。如果唔係得太長咧，佢變到咧冚死晒裏邊啲枝。如果你啲樹新嘅咧，你剪到佢唔大，咁你棵樹就永遠唔會成功。
Yeah, he talking about it depends on your trees. If your tree is complete the bonsai tree, so you have to keep pruning it back, like your haircut, you know, you have to cut it all the time. But if the tree is still growing, so you cannot doing like this all the time, because you prune it back all the time, then it stop, they growing, you know. Yeah, some of the branches you have to let it grow for a while and then let the branches and the get thicker.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, other questions? I have one. When you prune a branch back, do you just leave 4 leaves on that? You prune it back to only 4 leaves remaining on the very youngest branches? How far back do you prune?
佢嘅問題又係，當你修剪棵樹嘅時候，你剪你落嘅剪嘅地方係咪留翻4塊葉？
嗱，我同你講，你棵樹咧，你要睇嗰個樹嘅平衡，即係同埋嗰個造型。你冇理由每棵樹每條枝都2個葉，或者嗰個位置需要長啲，我哋有長啲；需要短啲就短啲。呢個係靠你啲藝術啦，即係咁嘅意思啦。
Well, Mr. Chair say that it depends your tree, because you have to look at the branches balance, because some of the branches is too short, so when you start pruning back, you have to leave more space for them, like 6 or 5 or 7 leaves, you know, it depends.
Okay, thank you, Sheshe. Okay, other questions? If not, I want to thank Mr. Shea. Thank you very much for taking the time to do this program. Dean Leon,
Yeah.
thank you for your translating
My
skills.
pleasure.
And thank you all for listening. This was an experiment for us. And if you have suggestions for us for the future, let us know. We're always looking on how to improve our presentations, because we're learning as we go along. So please don't hesitate to contact us and let us know what we can do to improve the programs. Also, let us know if you have specific programs you would like for us to plan in the future. We have several in the works now, and we want to try to provide useful information for you so you're learning new things. So thank you very much for participating today. Again, we apologize for the little glitch at the beginning, the wrong ID number. Try to do better next time and test it before. So thank you all. Thank you, Mr. Che. You did a great job. And
Thank you.
have a safe Halloween. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dean. And thank you, Mr. J.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Abadi. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
See you next month. Share.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.